All right, so this is us hopping on the bike for our 30 minutes of morning fasted cardio. Truth be told, I prefer this over any other source of cardiovascular activity just because I simply have fun doing it. And when it's nice outside, I'll get on an actual bike and hit the road or trails. And it's been something I've always enjoyed. So I tend to gravitate towards it when it comes time to do my cardio, which we are doing today. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of let that play through in the background while we discuss the topic of today's video being Alex Eubank's Natty status being revoked. If you haven't seen his video yet, it is on his YouTube channel. And essentially, he is going to be taking TRT, which is testosterone replacement therapy. He cites 200 milligrams a week. So while that isn't that high, or not as high as most people or some people do, it's still obviously an external source of testosterone that his body isn't naturally producing. So he is no longer natural, and I respect the fact that he at least is coming out and informing people of it. That way his followers aren't seeing his content moving forward and thinking that it's still naturally attainable. Now that can be the case. I feel like with some people, just in terms of genetics, there's some people that hop on stuff and they look more than natural, and you could still naturally obtain that. And there's some people with just amazing genetics, which I think Alex is one of them. And I think he is going to look, it's going to be a pretty noticeable difference. So I think the fact that he is being honest and upfront about everything is really awesome, because it at least gives a little bit of transparency to people that want to strive to reach his physique and do what he's doing, which you still can do and still use him as a baseline or checkpoint of sorts if you look at his past activity and his results. I think he's been doing this for, like, he mentioned 8 years he's been lifting naturally. So he's, in those 8 years, achieved a really awesome physique. So you can still use that as a reference point. But moving forward, obviously, he is having the help of an external source, i.e. being testosterone. So he's just kind of letting you know, hey, it is what it is, and still going to be entertaining content. It just is no longer a natural journey, you could say. But he did go over, I thought this was the most interesting part. He said he had his testosterone tested over the past few years during different points of basically leanness. And he says 215 or so is the lowest it had ever gotten, and then 900 was the highest it had ever gotten. And that was natural. Now, 900 is definitely a good number to be at. But the issue is that with that 900 testosterone score also comes a high body fat percentage. Obviously, Alex is known for his leanness and his aesthetics. He's not known for being overly strong in terms of, at least, the fitness industry standards, with 14, 15, 16-year-olds deadlifting 6, 7, 800 pounds. So his whole thing is the basically look of his physique and the aesthetics of his physique. So while he could have had a higher end testosterone rating, with that comes along body fat. So it's not going to give him the same look, and it's just not going to be as beneficial for his career, because he is in the business of pretty much looking good and being entertaining, and part of that entertainment comes from just having a very desirable physique, and obviously that is going to kind of drop off a little bit if you are accumulating body fat and not looking as impressive. So everyone gets to make their own decisions. I don't think it's a terrible one for him. He's going through a clinic as he's doing it, and he's having all his blood work monitored. It's all doctor prescriptions. He's not getting it on the internet. So at least the way he's going about it is a pretty smart and safe way to do so. Obviously, it wasn't necessary. It's not necessary that he jumps on something. But for him and with his career, I think it's going to make the most sense. And I think, if being honest, if most of us were in his same position, we would be extremely tempted to do so. With that being said, I have never, and I do not plan on ever, jumping on anything, not because I think it's wrong, but because I want to personally see how far you can go naturally, and I want to be a constant motivation for other people that want to stay natural as well. Which, not to say Alex hasn't done, he has, but now moving forward, it's kind of, it's kind of tainted because he's introduced the external sources of performance-enhancing drugs into his body, so no longer can you really look at him and say, oh, hey, he's natural, I want to look like that. He does have tons of, proof leading up to this point that you can still look at, which is awesome, but I really want to try and be that person that is a lifetime natural for my whole entire life, and just see how far you can get with that. And I think more so, I just don't like having dependencies on things, so I don't want to have to worry about, is my blood work going to be good this month, or is my biomarkers going to be good for this or that. I just think it's a lot simpler. I'm a minimalist in a lot of my approaches to life, this being one of them. I want to be able to just eat as, simply as possible, work out as simply as possible, and just not overcomplicate it. This obviously isn't my career, so I'm not overly worried about how I look or how much I can push. Obviously, those things are still important to me, but it's not like financially I'm relying on results of my physique or strength to get me through. So I think it's cool that he did decide to come out and be honest with everything, and I'm personally excited to see how he's going to transform his physique and strength levels. So, like I said, at the end of the day, he's in the entertainment industry, and I think his content's going to be a lot more entertaining just because he's going to look that much better doing what he's doing. So with that being said, everyone gets to make their own choices, and it's really not really our responsibility to judge or overly be critical of other people's decisions unless it's directly harming us or people we love or care about. So it really doesn't matter. Live and let live. Let him do what he's going to do, same as other people. I think really the only issue is when people do hop on and then they decide to be dishonest about it, because now there's false expectations, especially for the younger crowd that are looking up to people in the fitness industry, thinking that they can obtain stuff naturally while the people they're looking at are not natural. So, but at the end of the day, I think it's going to provide for some pretty cool content and just some good entertainment all around. So that's pretty much it on that. And I'm going to go ahead and throw in some music here and fast forward the video to the end. I think I only caught like 20 minutes of the cardio for this clip because I wasn't sure how long I was going to talk. But I'm going to go ahead and cue to that, and don't forget to do your cardio. 30 minutes fasted.
Spark